So, how did you get started with music? Was that always part of your growing up?
Yeah. I learned to play a guitar. I don't know, I was 11, 12 years old, something like that. Self-taught, you know. And somebody that was working country dances got a hold of me, and that's where I started. And of course, as I worked, I got better. I was 15 when I left home. I had entered an amateur contest on a Friday night, won, and the head man of the organization that had the show told me, he said, "Kid, if you ever need a job, come see me." I thought about it over the weekend, and I went to school Monday morning and picked up all my books and turned them in. Went home. Mother had a fit. So what was I going to do? I said, well, Mr. Marshall said, if I need a job, come see him. So I'm going to go see him. And I told her, I said, if you hear me on the radio at 12 o'clock, you know I got the job. If not, I'll be home for supper. And that's where it started. And it was, I thought I could make a living playing music, but at that day and time, it wasn't possible. So I had to get a day job. And every day job I got, food was involved. And if I could work with a greasy spoon and make sandwiches and corn soup and stuff like that, I could get something to eat.
There you go.
And that was a big thing. You know? And so that's what went on like that for, well, I was 15, and of course the law came out, and travel got hard to get, and I tried to work in lounges and cocktail bars and so forth, and finally the Army said, I want you, and so I got in the service. And my, quote, professional music career came to an end. And I went in service, and that was about it. You know, I still play for fun.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I don't do much now. My hands have got so bad. But in my mind, I tell people, my mind tells me what to do, but my fingers won't do what my mind says to do. You know. But I still love music. Encourage my grandchildren. Music. Stay with it. Do it. Do it. You know. And so that was it. My intention was to be a professional musician. But I got married, and that made a whole lot of difference, you know. I have to tell people, when I came out of service, I had two occupations. One was guitar player, and the other was machine gunner, and there was no call for it. There was no demand for either one. You know? So we, you know, I just had to, as the saying goes, get a real job.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you meet Bebe?
Music.
Okay.
And I was in service at Camp Cross, South Carolina. We had a little country band there, and we played square dances in town, and that's where I met her. And funny thing, she was dating a sergeant at that time, and I got between them, and I wound up with her, you know.
Yeah.
And we got married on September the 5th, 43. We spent 12 days together, and I didn't see her again for 26 months. But the marriage lasted until 1990. That's when she passed away, a victim of cancer. We raised two daughters, Diane and Vicky. Vicky, you know.
Yes.
Diane's in North Carolina still.
So you grew up in Maine in your early years?
Yeah. I grew up in Maine, and like I said, I left home when I was 15, and was all over Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and a little bit of Massachusetts, and some of the smaller towns in western Massachusetts and all. One night shows, and all. And I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I had fun.
Did your native heritage play any part in when you were growing up?
While we lived in the country, no.
Hmm.
But when they closed that country school and sent us into town, there was a difference.
Okay.
And there was a difference. And I was ridiculed. And nobody much had anything to do with me. I had two boys that I could call friends. One was a Frenchman of French descent, and the other one just a regular old boy. Both of them were blonde and blue-eyed, but we had a great relationship that extended on until they both passed away.
Hmm.
I always said if I ever left Maine, if I could get away from Maine and get established somewhere else, I wasn't going back there to live. I have no fond memories of Maine.
Hmm.
No.
You still have a sister there, don't you?
My sister's still there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But all us boys, there was three of us boys, and we all. I settled in the Carolinas. A brother next to me made a career out of the Navy. And the youngest boy married a gal from Texas, and he settled in Texas. So, you know, all three of us got away.
Yeah.
And all three of us had the same opinion. We weren't going back there to live.